Leo, welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be a reading going from the 17th to the 21st of July. So happy birthday to some of you out there who's having your birthday in the end of this week and this weekend. Coming into your birthday season. I think it's probably been a little bit of a long road over the last sort of 2 or 3 months, to be honest. It's good to sort of get a fresh start, because that's what happens when you have your birthday. Energy starts coming back into it. It's a little bit like the winter period. So after the autumn, well, the leaves have dropped off and everything like that. That's what the autumn period's like. That's the 3 months before your birthday. And then when your birthday hits, it's like winter. And then the tree grows a lot in winter. We don't see it, but it happens under the ground. All the roots grow loads, getting ready for all the new branches and leaves for next year and the growth for next year. So, and this is where you're coming to now. It's getting to a stage where you're getting ready to fire, as it were. Let's just see what your overall energy is. Empress, beautiful energy actually. Empress card here, as you can well see. It's like your opposite in a way, Leo. It's the Empress has a not that you don't have, but you do have. Has control over her emotions and has enormous amounts of possibilities. Her empire is her control over her emotional, energetic, and spiritual self. The Emperor is the control over their physical empire, what they can control around them directly. That is your empire. And this is the same thing for the Empress. So the energy here, the overall energy here is saying there is lots of possibilities. And what you need to do with the overall energy, you're going to get lots of different types of energies coming into you. So this could be through visual, audio, through nature, through textures, through colours, through temperatures, anything, taste or smells or anything like that. It's combining them all together to actually see what is possible, and then going after what you want. I think you've done a really good work this year, actually, Leo. Not that you don't normally do a good work, but since I've been reading your cards, it's like there's been a real crescendo within you leading up to this last sort of month and a half before your birthday, where things are sort of slowing down. That's the autumn period, as I said. And now all the possibilities are coming to the surface. You have the devil on your karmic mission on your relationship side. The devil's coming up for everybody at the moment. And I think the devil is in the detail. I did in my Game Changer reading at the beginning of the last week or this week, depending on when you're watching this. And it's called the Game Changer. And then I did an all signs timestamp video on it. Sorry. And the devil was quite a thing in this. And there's this vibration coming through this week. I think it's coming through between the 17th and the 21st. So pretty much coming up to your birthday season. And it's almost like sort of like a real anticipation energy before that vibration comes in and literally flips everything. And it's with that anticipation, it's almost just before the start of a race, kind of going, I'm going, ready to go. And whilst you're in that sort of state, this is the moment to sort of check all the detail within regards to your relationships, how things work in a very small and minor sort of sense, really. Just observing what's going on around you, how you connect to people around you, and that could be friends, family, community, could be your partner as well. Loads of different aspects of it all. But just seeing what the little details are, being a little bit, certainly not being obsessive, but certainly obsessive about what is right for you. I think that's probably the best thing. Then you have Justice card, and I think this is due to the good work you've done. Honestly, you're getting this karmic justice, like universe has recognised the good work you've done, Leo, and it's in the way you do in the preparation, how you apply yourself in life and stuff like that, how you apply with other people. Absolutely brilliant. And the justice is almost sort of saying, Leo, we've got your back. And it's things that, as long as you don't get caught up in petty arguments, fighting over spilt milk is not worth it. Fighting over the cow, maybe. Do you know what I mean? So I think here is, as long as you don't get involved in petty little things, I think the universe will bring into you a lot of things that will kind of make you feel kind of go, I thought that as well, and it turned out absolutely brilliant. That's the sort of thing that's bringing towards you. This is why it's good to concentrate on the smaller details. In your past guides, in your guides here, this is working on the super subconscious level, the super subconscious level. And these are the guides that connect, they're quite far away from you in a way, and they connect your past and your future. And that's what they try and do here. You have also guides that are very close to you, and that's up here. This is all to do with your your subconscious level. This is the conversation you have within you. But this is to do with the coincidences, the broader field view. And you're getting a lot of information. As I said with this card here, with the Justice card, you're getting a lot of things coming through here, which is going to give you karmic justice. It's going to give you that sense of, I was right, I knew it, I had it, I saw it right. And, it's also, communicating through coincidences, which are making your life a little bit easier in regards to the relationships around you. It's going to make you see that finer detail that I was talking about, to see how you connect with people around you and recognize, which relationships are really, working, which ones are not working, which ones are worth investing in, which one gives you good return, which makes you feel happy, which other ones are a bit heavy and sort of feel like you're carrying people. And you will do, Leo. That's the thing. You're like that. You will carry people. But, just don't carry too much, if I were you. In your sort of future self and the conversation that's within you, you get the Page of Wands. This is you opening up, and this is where the energy is flowing through. This is that flip moment I was talking about that I went into on the Game Changer video reading, which you'll find on our channel. It'll also be linked at the end of this reading. And this is you opening your pathway. That's what a page does. They open the pathway for the knight to come through and secure the path. So it's discovering your path, and it's discovering it through your passions of what you've calculated within you, of what you want to do in the coming year, in regards to your relationships around you. And I think this ties into activities as well, doing things with people, not just being in relationships with people, but actually being involved in activities and what have you. And that could be anything from sort of photography, could be to do with sort of drawing, art, that sort of thing, traveling, going traveling around, could even be sort of like hiking and stuff like that. It'd be really nice. But whatever it is, it's driven by your passions that are within you. In your future, you've got these 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is a realization. So number 7 is the revelation thing. And I think this has to do with that energy coming through. You're realizing now that the energy is changing by the end of the week, and how things are changing around us. You'll realize that the energy is changing. And because the energy is changing, it's not that you have to defend your path. You have to be that person that takes that staff on, that one there, that pathway that you have created, and take that staff on and go and live it. And living your path will then bring you success within your relationships. You will not have to defend who you are. Your actions will defend you by by themselves. I think that's, action speaks louder than words in this case here. So yeah, I don't think there's anything to really defend in a way. I think it's a case of taking those messages that are coming through, looking at the finer detail, opening up that pathway that is coming, that you wish to explore, and then go ahead and exploring it. There is one aspect of, some people may not agree with where you're going because they want you to stay where you are. They want you to stay under their control in a way. And you may have to sort of defend your path in a way of sort of saying, no, sorry about that. I'm not staying here because I'm going over there. No, look, I've got all that stuff to explore. That sort of thing. So it's not that the people are nasty. I don't think so. I think people are not, they're almost, people are bred to be nasty rather than born nasty. I don't think that. I don't think it's really inherent. So I think it's just a case of just going ahead and doing your path. Let's just see what's going on in your financial sort of side. On your karmic mission, you have the Hermit. Well, nice one, really learned. Now, there was a learning curve that you were going through that I've been speaking over the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks. You're very good at making money, but it's a little bit difficult to keep hold of it. It seems to flow through your fingers. You just seem to sort of like, it's not that you're a spendaholic, but think there's other things that are much more important than money, apparently, according to Leo, according to you Leos. And this here is your karmic path, is remembering the applications of the lessons you've had to learn over the past 2 to 3 months as you open up that pathway. And those lessons could well be obstacles or objectives, not objectives, obstacles or desires in your life that you want to create, and how you're going to create them. And going around that mountain, that's what the hermit does. It's a long road to the top of the mountain for the hermit. But when the hermit gets there, because it knows every angle and every rock on that mountain, it can use all the energy of that experience in order to just reach out and grab that dream or that ambition. And then he puts that ambition in that lantern, and that lantern will then light his way. And this here is on your karmic mission. Because we're coming into your birthday season, it's a case of saying your karmic mission is now to get on and live those ambitions, those objectives that those, is objective the right word? It's not. It's, your ambitions, basically, of what you want to live in this next coming year. On your, the universe here is, I think they're really helping you out here. They're sort of saying to you, play smart, diffuse any situation that may block your path before it actually happens. The more conscious we are as we walk down the path, I'm a healer, and I've been doing it for 30 years, and I've seen, I've seen tens of thousands of people. And one thing I've noticed, especially with myself, that I can see problems arriving from far away. And because I can see them arriving from far away, I can almost position myself so I'm less affected by the problem, and they're a lot easier to deal with. So I have a lot less problems per se in my life. And I think this is what the universe is trying to help you do as well. Preempt any sort of situation so you don't block your path. So you've got a free run at your ambitions, basically. Let's just see what your past... you got the Page of Swords. So you've got a couple of pages now on the table, which is really nice. Just seeing if there was another one. Page of Swords. So these are the bright ideas that come through from the past, that cuts through the mist that may be surrounding you, to open up that pathway, because that's what the page does. Open that pathway to a very stimulating future in regards to your career path, your business, or any projects you so wish to do in your life. The moment you sort of engage with the world mentally, that's when you can avoid any sort of complications down the line. So attention to detail, I think, is really important within your relationship side, but there's a touch to it on this side as well. And the thing is with the hermit is, Leo, inside you, there's no doubt, really. You know what you got to do in order to get what you want. That's just the way it goes. Your feisty side is coming out, isn't it, Leo? You know what I mean? That fiery side of you is really coming out. Here in your future self, you got the Five of Wands. Yeah, I think there's a bit of competition here, and I think it's a very healthy competition. I think it's a competition that you like. It's I describe it this way. You can have two people who want to build a car that doesn't consume any energy or doesn't emit any pollution, and eventually one of those two people are going to get it. But the thing is, on that pathway there, and that competition is going to help push the other person to be the best example of who they can be. That's what the learning curve of this is about. But eventually, once that car gets made, things that the other person who didn't make the final car would have made loads of things on the way that the other person who did make the car can use. So he contributes, although, the other person might have won the competition for the time being, the contribution that the person who came in second actually is phenomenal. So do not worry about competition, because it always goes to the greater good, which is the thing that really concerns you more than anything else. And I think this healthy competition is allowing you to extradite yourself. See, that one person there's got that staff there, like that person there on the Seven of Wands, and like that person there on the Page of Wands. Not like that, those wands there. So it's a difference there. And what you're doing is you're realizing your path is going to take you away from a competition that that was destructive more than constructive. And this is where you're learning to, drive yourself into the future. And I think that's a really good thing, especially if you've learned that idea that, to make money is one thing, but to keep hold of it or to use it wisely is another. And once you get those two things in, I think you're going to say goodbye to any sort of conflictual competition and say hello to really beautiful, challenging competition. I'm going to get it out in a minute. Challenging competition for you. I think it's going to be really, really good, and it's going to drive you to be the best example of who you can be. It's the best example of who you're going to be. It's what ultimately is coming out of this is just pure abundance. And yes, you're very good at making this, Leo. Really good at making all that abundance within you. And that abundance is not just financial. It's also abundance in how people respect you, in abundance of how your energy, your physical force, your moral force. Everything is possible here, especially with that Empress card that is there. It's a real, it's your birthday season. It's a real start of a whole new cycle. Let's just see what's going on with the Empress card. It's coming in quickly, whatever it is. The emotion in the possibilities that are happening around you at the moment is really crescendoing. And I think this comes in with that change of energy that flows through by the end of the week. And you're going to be able to grasp on it. Yes, it's going to take you places physically, emotionally as well, and energetically. And it may take you away from, from a lot of people who are used to having you around. And I think that's going to be the most difficult thing for you to deal with. The Emperor card wanting to come out with the Empress there. Absolutely brilliant. You're turning into your divine example of who you can be. There's no doubt about it. And I've seen that within your cards over the past sort of like month and a half or so. Okay, so the devil is in the detail, the fair exchange, making sure you're also benefiting from the relationships as much as you're giving, basically. And when you realize that you've got enough, you don't have to take anything from anything else or recharge your batteries. You're just there. You're in good mode. You've got good energies and stuff like that. And that's going to help you to sort of really invest in the relationships that really make you tick, basically. What's this karmic justice that's coming in from the universe? I wonder if it goes back quite a way. I think it could well be the case of something that within your relationships around you, there may have been some relationships were a little bit tricky, having to be a little bit political about, a bit sensitive and stuff like that. And it's been a bit kind of going, oh no, I've got to be sensitive again, sort of thing, And I think that's coming to an end here with the universe. I think the universe is now giving you justice, saying, all right, Leo's had enough of that, let's move on. And it's moving on to areas of meeting new people, and broadening your social horizons is going to be good fun. It's gonna be trying and testing for you, a good bit of I think enjoyable for you in regards to that. So I would be really open to sort of like connecting with people outside your normal sphere of social sphere. With the Eight of Wands, you get the Nine of Cups. This is you've been building up so beautiful. This is all to do with how you're connecting your past and your future. And the things that you've been doing over the past month and sitting in your power at certain times and being very much that sort of welcoming parent to children at the other time. It's been absolutely beautiful to watch. And it's given you a huge amounts of growth. And within that growth and that karmic justice is going to bring forward and, opportunities and possibilities, which ties into the Empress card as well for you in regards to relationships. If you head down, this is so lovely, and this seems to be your card. You always seem to be getting the Six of Wands. Could be me, but I think you're always getting it. Success, recognition of who you are, respect of who you are, your rightful or your righteous place within your relationships. You're taking and you're owning that position, the Emperor, and you're creating it because you've got that Page of Wands there, that's what's driving you to create that pathway. Is that ultimate success of everyone kind of going, Leo is such a top person, so great to be around. You know, so brilliant, so reliable, so dependable, that they're going to do the right thing, and so strong and robust as a person, that's the sort of thing is, so make sure you drive that strength for you, because if you do, then that's when you're going to get recognition and great relationships that are around you. There is a difficult choice. As I say, with that Seven of Wands, I think there is some people here that's, that may not necessarily want your success or want you to progress. I don't necessarily think that they're a nasty person and stuff like that. They don't want your downfall, but they just don't want to see you go in a way. But justice is blind, and that in the Two of Swords, she's a bit like this, the traditional justice that we see, that it's the blindfolded lady with the scales and the sword in her hand, and I think this is it here, is that it may be a difficult choice to make, but I think if you're true to yourself, that there is no choice to be had here. You've got to follow your path, and I think this is what you need to defend in a way, in regards to your relationships. You need to grow. If you don't grow, I think you will be very upset with yourself in the future, in the long-term future. So, yeah, there is a difficult question to be had. There's so many possibilities and great success for you to be had. It's coming in very quickly. It's just a case of you realising what you want and going after it in regards to the relationships. In your financial sort of side, in your material sort of side, with this Hermit card of expressing your understanding of where you want to be going, I got a funny feeling you're actually doing the offering here. I think you're providing a lot of opportunity for people that are around you, because you've understood. Either you've passed an exam, so you've got a certain certificate, or you've got that loan in order to start that business, so you can offer someone a job. It's that sort of thing. It seems like, because you're like this, you're following that pathway of your desires and the stimulation that the workspace brings you. Because you're doing that, you can offer that to the other people that are around you. And I think that's your karmic mission, to do that as well, to offer the opportunities to others, because you're making opportunity for yourself. If you're not making opportunity for yourself, start by that. Then you can then start offering it out to other people that are around you. So for others, the moment you start expressing your understanding, your karmic message may well be to take the opportunity that is being offered to you. This is what it is. With the Seven of Swords, it's avoiding future complications, so then you can radiate beautiful energy and joy about doing what you want to do throughout all of your, the coming year, throughout your career path, throughout your, your business or your job or what have you. So that works really well. It stops you from having to sort of like draw your sword whilst on your horse and saying, charge, sort of like, you're going to avoid that. Almost as like, what you want to be doing is you want to be creating a situation where you're on the horse, and when you arrive, they kind of go, oh, Leo's here, the knight is here, better behave, respect is due, sort of thing. That's the strength of the strong person. Their strength is that people recognize their strength within them, and they look so strong and powerful that no one wants to fight them. So then they just kind of go, yeah, well, after you, no worries, that sort of thing. And I think that's the sort of situation that the universe is trying to help you set up. You got the devil again. Devil is in the detail. This is the start of your journey. Devil is in the detail. It comes up with the Page of Swords. Lots of ideas that are coming in. How are you going to convert them into reality? That's where the devil is in the detail. As these ideas come up through you from the past, you've got to look at every little aspect of, say, like you started up a cafe, you've got to look at what sort of coloured cups you want, what shape you want, what height you want, how much do you put in the cup. That sort of thing, real getting down to detail. And this is where you're going to be able to stop yourself from hemorrhaging money when you're making lots of money. So yeah, I think the devil is in the detail, and it is offering you this opportunity. The learning curve of learning to be the best example of who you are is going to push you into places where you're going to be outside your comfort zone in a way. You're going to be, and I think this is what that healthy competition is all about as well for you. It's more of a competition with yourself, I think, more than anything else, to be the best example of who you can be, really succeed in your life. But in order to do that, you're going to, once you stop fighting and start going after your path, it's going to bring a lot of things to the surface that you may not really have seen a lot of it within your life. So it's all going to seem very new. It's going to help you to see the world in a different sort of sense as well. You have with the Ten of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. And these emotional things is going to actually teach you to not necessarily get emotionally involved in it. Richard the Lionheart. This is what Leo's all about. It's being that knight. It's being that savior. It's being that protector of everything that is around you. And the thing is, the best way to be a protector is to take out the emotions out of the situation. And that's why you've got the Empress card. She has the control over her emotions. So what it's saying here is, if you want your abundance, if you want your total abundance, you've got to take the emotions out of your material world, out of your job things. And when I say take out the emotions, I mean take out the emotions of fighting over spilt milk. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier on. Don't fight over spilt milk. If you do have to fight over something, fight over the cow, maybe, but not the spilt milk. And this is where you've got to choose your battles well. And this is what playing smart is all about. This is what the Five of Wands is all about. There's a lot going on here where you're going to have to, and I think it comes out of jealousy for you, of you more than anything else. And it's going to, it may make you, you may get a situation where there may be a colleague at work or someone, a competitor or a customer or even a supplier that's kind of going, how come it's Leo who always gets it, spot on and makes all the money and stuff like that? That's where it's getting a little bit of a feeling of, a bit of jealousy I'm getting out of it all. And I think it may hurt you in a way because you may go, why did you feel like that? Why did you, that's what I mean about sort of taking the emotions out of it. Don't allow people to sort of drag you down at all, Leo. Allow you to be the best example of who you are. There you go. As I said, we've got that game changer reading as well, collective and all signs on this channel. I thank you very much for your support for this channel. There's loads of links in the description below. You can find out about my books. Also, I give private readings and healings. And also you can buy me a cup of coffee if you so desire. But any sort of contribution in the way of sort of support for this channel, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, anything is absolutely beautiful. I read every single comment and I do reply to every single comment. So yeah, I will speak to you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.